week was all right.
Yeah.
Uh,
You growing a little mustache over there?
a little mustache.
A little winter coat on the face.
This has been here, man. This ain't
Has
this
it?
ain't,
Interesting.
this ain't new.
I feel like I remember you with a little scruff, but it looks like you're letting it grow a little more now. No? Can you grow a full beard if you want?
No,
No.
I don't have that luxury.
No. Yeah, me neither, man. Maybe someday. I hear late 20s is when like it really comes in. That's what I've been told. So I'm holding on to that.
Oh, that's not my experience. So I
I'm
don't
holding
think
on to it.
I'm not gonna be one of those people that can grow a face full of hair.
Would you do it if you could?
Yeah, I would think I would,
Yeah, I
but
think I would too. I keep it to the face. I wouldn't be like Chris Stapleton, just like way down there, but like that's a little much. But yeah.
I
Man, we were wrong as fuck about the Super Bowl, huh?
mean, I think part of it, yes, we were wrong as fuck, and then part of it was the Eagles' defense didn't show up. They got
Mm.
exposed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly like Ayuk and all those boys were saying too.
Like it was the second half where it was and they detailed it really well. I think it was Orlovsky detailed it really well on Get Up where they were seeing that the Eagles defense was doing like these handoffs. So that's why they started doing a lot of like pre-snap movements and shifts and stuff like that, especially with the receivers. That's why those two wide open touchdowns that who was it? I think it was Kadarius Tony
Mm-hmm.
and who was it?
It was some other like I don't want to say unknown.
Running
That
back.
sounds disrespectful, but it wasn't like a big time.
It was like a rookie running back or something like that. Like they
Yeah.
just wide open. They ran the same play just on the opposite side of the field, and the Eagles
Mm-hmm.
did the exact same thing with their defense as far as like handed it off, and then they couldn't come back fast enough and wide open.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was such a good game, man. I was
It I, more than anything else, regardless of it being wrong, like you said, I was just happy that it was a dog ass game.
mm-hmm. It was
And
awesome.
I will say, was it a whole? Yes, he definitely held him. He pulled his jersey, even pulled his what's his name. But then you had to go into the play of like, was it catchable? Because he was
That's
pretty far,
true. Yep.
right? I would have liked to see it go into overtime. Um, but man, it was a dog ass game, and I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, man. It was crazy to see. I mean, in the beginning, it's such a Chiefs story, right? Like they're always down, it seems like, and then they just turn into this other team in the second half. It's so crazy to watch. Patrick Mahomes played a damn near perfect second half of football, man.
Yeah, I think he only missed like one throw in the second half, and that was just a throwaway.
Hmm. He went nuts. He went nuts.
Insane,
Jalen Hurts
insane,
balled too, man. He balled.
bro. He balled the foot. Like some of them passes he was throwing were just right on the money.
They
I
were.
thought that pass that they threw to Brown in in the end zone. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
now, my question for you is Jalen Hurts a top? Can he be elevated into like that top 10 or top five? I think for sure. I think we can maybe put him in top 10. But can you put
Definitely
him in
top
top?
10. I don't think I can put him top five. He still has this and maybe, and this is just a personal thing. I don't think like the rest of the world would probably agree with me on this, but for me, like it's really hard when I see a quarterback who I can tell his first instinct is to run still. Like I can just see it like that. Like he'd rather run than throw. And he's a great thrower of the football. He played a great game. I just I don't know, man. There's something about it for me when like I don't know if he's an elite passer of the football. I'm not saying he isn't, but like it seems like a lot of his success is derived from his ability to run the ball, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. I don't know if I would agree because I think part of it is like that's just the nature of their offense.
Hmm.
And then also too, I mean, his ability to run puts such in what to just take off,
Hmm.
right? Because you're leaving the middle pretty much wide open for him. So
Right.
I don't know if I would necessarily agree. I would agree. I don't think I would put him. I don't want to put him. I don't know. I wouldn't put him top five, but damn it, he close.
Yeah, I mean he played amazing. At times their offense is kind of boring for me to watch. Just that like up the middle QB sneak shit. Like I'm not saying it works, right? So it's one of those things like same thing in mixed martial arts where like if you're a grappler or like a Floyd Mayweather where it's like people say it's boring, but it works. So I'm not like shitting on him for it, but like that shit was getting old for me to watch. I was like, God damn, like just it's like up the middle, up the middle, up the, but it works. Like they can't stop it, you know?
Could not stop it. It
I
cannot stop.
mean, it's like he would just take off up the middle and then somehow it seemed like three dudes would be behind him every time, just like pushing the pile like forward. I was like, what the fuck, man?
They couldn't stop it. How many first downs did they get just off of like
Insane.
there was nothing stopping it. They
Insane.
couldn't stop it at all. I
They're a
was
really good team though. I don't really I mean their D did get exposed a little bit, which I was surprised. I think me and you were both surprised about that. But especially offensively, I'm just watching them like, man, great O line. Obviously, he's a phenomenal quarterback. Those two receivers are both fucking studs, man. Both of them.
and I was surprised that what's the name didn't play that much. Miles
Who?
Sanders.
No, not really. They're more of like a committee, you know, and Hertz is part of that committee, like
But I
Boston Scott and them.
was surprised by that. But I will say this. Do you think Jalen Hurts, him going to Oklahoma, changed his ability to be a quarterback
For the like the negative or the pot like or for the better.
for better?
Um Yeah, I'd say so because it seemed like Alabama had given up on him at that point. Given up is a strong word, but like Tua was their guy, right? It seemed like after he got hurt, they were like, okay, we're riding with Tua. So I think that was definitely the right move. Why do you think otherwise?
I think well, I just think it helped in his development of being a quarterback. You think about the offensive play style that Lincoln Riley has, and
Hmm.
like you have to be an incredible passer of the ball to play in that offense as a quarterback.
Yeah, he wants gunslingers.
He had I mean he became a Heisman finalist.
Hmm.
And I think that him being in that offense and learning that offense really helped his ability to like learn an NFL style and be successful at it. The dude has not done nothing but like win since he's been in the NFL.
Yeah, he's played phenomenal, man. And I know I just said what I said about him being more of a runner than thrower, but I don't want to like get it twisted. Like he's still a great passer. I mean that I don't even know what you would consider that route where it's like a go and then they cross to the corner. But when he hit AJ Brown with that fucking bomb, I was like, damn, that was a ball.
Those are dying.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I now it's just gonna be because I think he's a free agent. I think his rookie contract is up.
Hurts.
Yeah, I think his rookie contract is up. So it's like, what do they
You
what
gotta
do you
give him. I mean, what is it? Usually the market is the market usually dictates that the next big quarterback that's up becomes then the highest paid quarterback, right? So I mean,
I mean Lamar's finding that out like he's not probably not gonna get that. So like what
yeah, but they're different, right? I mean, Lamar had an MVP season, sure, but then he didn't play so well the next two seasons. Like Hurts is right now, like at like a fucking pinnacle. Like, so if his contract's up, like you're saying, like I feel like you got to give him what he wants. Like you can't
is
risk
it
giving
that
him.
Lamar hasn't played with or just Lamar hasn't been available to play?
That's true. I mean, injuries play a part of it, and then the rest of the team. Obviously, it's a team game, but it's just it is what it is. The numbers have not been what they were previously, so I think it's hard for them to justify giving him that.
No, I think it's just I mean one Lamar took a gamble playing this year without having like a guaranteed contract. And then I think it's starting to backfire because they're like, oh, your durability and everything. It's like, yeah, but no.
Yeah.
Uh, but I would say with because then what's going to happen is like, what type of contract does Jalen take though too? Because like, if he doesn't take too crazy of a contract, they can kind of keep most of this team together, and this team can consistently go and compete for Super Bowls that they can try to keep the core of this team together as best as possible.
Right. Well, it's like how much is enough, right? From his perspective, it's like, do you want
And
to?
do you take the Brady approach and just
Yeah,
take
exactly.
enough, and that way you can load up around you, or do you take like a
Well, what's
Deshaun
crazy is
Watson?
Mahomes took the approach of give me the most fucking money ever, and he just still won a Super Bowl. So I mean, like, you know,
But not even though, but not even because it's over a 10-year span. So
that's true.
like the
Yeah.
contract is more back end loaded than anything. So like they still have flexibility to really work with the contract.
Hmm. That's a good
Because
point.
like I think they were even saying at the time like he didn't even take as much as he really could have. It
What
was
was
like
it? It
a
was like
10.
a 10-year, 500 million, I think.
Was it 500? That was like four or something. Either way, it was ridiculous.
Hmm.
So the question is, are you the Eagles? You giving Jalen a 10-year contract?
This goes back to the running thing, man. I mean, historically, just historically, how often do running quarterbacks get hurt? You know, like it's like look at what RG3 was doing his first like 2 years in the league or that first year, and then it was
Yeah,
just like, and I remember back then the analyst saying like he needs to be careful, like he can't keep playing like this, you know, like
I don't
it's
know if that was. I see. This is the thing. Like, I don't know if we can. Like, everybody wants to bring up RG3. It was even RG3 said, but it was his whole thing. Like, he was mismanaged. They did not. They did not manage because they didn't know. They've never had. Had a quarterback like him. Like, really. I mean, granted, you had Vic, but like RG3, I think was a little bit different. But it's not. I
Vic's
don't.
the only one really that kind of think about it, you know, like that was able to play like that and didn't have some injury that kind of derailed. I mean, he had a whole
Yeah,
other thing go on, but like even when he came back from jail and got back in the league, he was
it was
playing
Memphis.
well.
He was
Yeah,
balling.
yeah,
He was balling. So I think what's name was mismanaged. I think with RG3. Um, and
10-year deal.
I think with Lamar, they had just this is the thing that scares me with Lamar is that if he gets a contract, they already don't have any help for him. And if you get a contract, that's
Yeah,
it makes it even more difficult for them to get help for you.
right.
I just don't know, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Lamar is a whole other story. For Hurts, it's tough because all he's done, like you said, is win since he got in the league. You know, he started turning that team around a couple years ago when he came in and started starting. But yeah, I mean, if I'm them, I would probably give him a long term, pretty big deal. I mean, it's just I feel like that's what you have to do right now. What are the other options? Like, unless he's willing to, like you said, take the Brady approach and take less, that's a win-win for everyone. But if he's not willing to do that, I'm not letting Hurts like walk. There's no way.
No, you can't. You can't.
There's no way. He's
And
he's
I'll be
playing for
really
them.
interested to see what ends up happening this summer. Because this summer, especially from a quarterback standpoint, it's gonna be insane. You got Carr and where he's gonna go. We don't know what's gonna happen with Rogers, like Tannehill. Like what is gonna happen there?
You're right.
It's,
A lot of
it's
holes to be filled, man.
it
For sure.
is. Like is what's gonna happen with Garoppolo,
Oh yeah. And then Trey Lance and Purdy.
right? And then I've been hearing rumors that the Bears are potentially willing to listen to trade offers for Justin Fields
Hmm.
to maybe because they may look at Bryce Young like
Yeah, Bryce Young's gonna be a star, man. Before we get into that though, let's go to the other side. So Mahomes,
yeah.
where is he now? Like obviously you stack him up against Brady's first couple years. Like Brady had three at this point. Little different situation, but you know, like and he has two. Like he is on a fucking crazy trajectory right now. Absolutely
He,
insane.
I mean, he's easily top. I would say top five quarterbacks all time, just off his resume now.
I agree.
The question becomes, how do they maintain talent around it?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. They just need to maintain. Like Kelsey, at some point within the next like
Couple
3 years,
years. Yeah.
retire. Like, so how do you replenish that, right? And then he needs receivers. Like, not to say that they don't have like I mean they have a good core that he can spread it around. Um, but I think we all know that like he is at his best when he has someone that can take the top off on a
For sure.
defense. So, like, how do you potentially try to go and find that in the draft?
The fact that he did it without that is just so crazy, man. I mean, I just remember me and you sitting here this time, like last year in the summer, just like, or whenever Tyreek was gone, just like they're gonna take a step back. There's no way. And for him to
Bro,
just,
you remember when he said that like he was just going out there and playing like he didn't even really know defenses, like he didn't know,
yeah, yeah, he was just slinging it.
and like you can see it now, like he can
Hmm.
read, bro. Like
Exactly.
that motions, like he can. It's scary. It is scary.
It is, man. I mean, to your point, like he's already, when I think about it, after what he just did, he's better than Rodgers now, like in my opinion. Like he's already over. He's better than Breeze, like, and that's really hard for me to say, but definitely, like, I mean, the fact that you've already got two at your fifth year, right? I
Super
mean,
Bowl MVPs. How many Super Bowls has he been to? Three,
three,
four?
three.
Like,
He's been to
how,
every year that he's started. So I think he's been in the league 6 years, started five. He's been to the AFC Championship every year or the Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, he's never
he
played
has
in a road playoff game.
never played a bad Super Bowl.
Mm-mm.
Like he's never played bad in the Super Bowl, even when they were playing against the Bucks. And he didn't play bad. His team,
No,
he just had no line. The
no,
man was running for his life the whole fucking game and still didn't have a bad game.
no.
It's,
Insane, man.
it's
Yeah. I mean, like, so
yeah,
at what point, because I'm looking at it now, obviously the Brady argument is, I think that's a little tough. Like, I think you can say, like, the eye test, you can think that Mahomes is better, and I do, like, just on a talent perspective, but it's
yeah.
going to be at what point, I guess, like, because I think 7 rings that's like that's
It's
almost like a
not.
will, that's like insurmountable. Like, that's really hard to do, regardless of
It's
who
like a
you
Bill
are.
Russell like 13, 11 ring. Like
Yeah. Wilt Chamberlain, 100 points type of thing. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
it's like, what does he need? Because to me, it's like if he gets to like 4, then I'm like, okay, like he's the best.
yeah. If he can get to like 4 and continue to be on this trajectory with the whole, um, like just reaching
Mm-hmm.
the AFC championships, because I honestly see that him and Burrow, I just feel like every year they're gonna be battling
Yep,
for AFC championships.
they will. It's gonna be cool. It's like the new Brady Manning type thing, you know?
Like for real. The question is like, has has Allen played himself out of that conversation now?
A little, I mean, right now, but obviously everything can change, right? What if he balls out next year and they go to the Super Bowl? Like then obviously he's in it. But as of right now, for me at least, in the West or I always say the West. I always associate the AFC with the West. I don't know why I do that, but it's Burrow and Mahomes, man. And I think going into the season, it was like Burrow, Mahomes, Herbert, and Allen. I was like, all 4 of these guys are like right there. But I feel like Allen and Herbert kind of like they didn't play bad, but they just kind of like back a little bit on that
Bro,
totem pole.
how do you as Herbert blow a 20 something point lead?
Yeah, it was terrible, bro. That was insane. Was it the
That
wild
can't,
card round? Yeah,
yeah, like that can't happen. And don't get me wrong, like the Jags play their ass off.
they did. Trevor Lawrence might be coming too, honestly.
He may be, but you can't blow that lead, bro.
No,
Those
definitely
other
not.
elite quarterbacks, they're not blowing leads like that.
Someone told me, I haven't even looked into this, but that Keenan Allen's either a free agent or they're looking to cut him. So that would be interesting if he ended up somewhere else too.
I don't
And
know. I'm be interested. I mean, I would say this, it was a hell of a season, a lot of storylines. Did you see the enemy is going to
yeah,
the
he's going
Jets?
somewhere. Is he a head
Is he going
coach or is he a OC somewhere else now?
to an OC? Did I? um, Let me. I'm gonna have to double check. Did I think he may be going to the Jets as they OC?
I don't think so. Is it the Jets? I know he's leaving.
He's going somewhere.
He's definitely leaving. It'll be
But
interesting though, man. Like you said, great storylines this year, and they always just
oh
seem to
no,
replenish.
he's going to the Commanders. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, Washington.
Yeah, and
Who's their
then
head
look,
coach? Is this the Rivera?
yeah,
I would almost just put the enemy as the head coach, man. Like, no offense to Rivera, but
as a head coach, I really do. I think he's a pretty solid coach. Um, they just we've come to find out that Wentz is just not it as a
no, he's
quarterback.
not. No, he's not.
And so it's like, what do you like? I like. Do you stick with Heineke? Like, I don't. They have to figure something out on offense though,
There's
because
a
they have
lot of teams right now that need quarterbacks.
it is. And the thing with Washington is like they have some pretty solid talent as far as like skilled players.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yep,
just need a quarterback.
they
The
do.
defense is there. They got some pretty solid skill. They just need a quarterback.
Indeed. Yeah,
If
you're
they
not
can get
wrong. They got
And they can
young
get
talent.
creative on offense. If they can get creative, BME can bring some really good. And then plus, I think this will give him a really good opportunity to show that like it wasn't just Andy Reid that was coming up. It was like so. We'll see.
We will. What do you think? I don't want to say early prediction for next year, like as far as champion, but do you think the Chiefs can steadily like continue this now? You think like they have to make some shakeups
I
in order
mean,
to?
they just we've said this for the last 2 years. The thing with Kansas City is that their defense just has to get better.
Yeah,
It has to get better.
it does.
They can't continue to just try to outscore teams. They gotta get Jones some help. They have to. They got to figure out a way to do it. So whether it's linebacker play, they need a corner. They just have
I
to, bro.
know, man. I mean, okay, since Mahomes has been there, I'd say I don't know, but I would say their average has probably been like 14 wins a season, like every regular season. Like,
Um,
and then they make it to the AFC Championship every year. Can you imagine if they had a good defense? I mean, like they would be
they have to figure something. I mean, the thing is that they don't really have high picks. So
no.
like, but like, it's 7 fucking rounds.
Hmm.
They just need they got to figure it out. You can figure it out on offense, but you can't somehow figure it out on defense as far as like finding talent. You got to find the talent, bro.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
So we'll see. But I think that's the thing for them is that they can figure out something on defense. And then, bro, can we talk about Juju? Did you see that shit that he did? That tweet he put out?
Yeah, it was something stupid, right? Because someone went
It was
off
on
on him.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that was so fucking
Bro,
dumb.
oh, like, bro, that was the trashiest thing ever. I don't wish harm on anybody, or not even harm, but bad things. But like, I I would not be surprised if the Chiefs drop him, bro.
He is so petty, man. And then did you see the dude's response? It was pretty good. He was like, first of all,
AJ Brown,
congratulations. Yeah.
yeah, AJ, very good response. He was like, but let's just not make sure that you weren't just about to be out the league.
Yeah, TikTok boy. That was so true,
So
man. That was like the first I had seen Juju even and it like he was like a no-show that whole season until that game, you
he
know?
was. I mean, I felt like he had a pretty solid season. It wasn't like he was just nothing, but because it was receiver by committee type of thing. But you didn't have to do that. It wasn't necessary for you to do that, bro.
Hell no. Absolutely not. I mean, yeah, that's what's interesting about them too, is like you just said, they're receiver by committee. They can kind of, we've been saying this for a couple years too. As long as you've got speed, they can kind of just recycle in dudes that aren't even considered like top tier receivers as long as they can fucking run, you know? That's all Mahomes
Yeah,
needs is just someone that can move. So,
yeah. I mean, Juju had a pretty solid. What is it? He almost had 1,000 yards,
oh, okay.
so
He
not
did
too
that.
bad
No,
if
not
you do it
bad. That
weekly.
was quiet though. I never even like saw him. Yeah. Hmm. Fucking Juju.
So,
It was a great game though. It was cool that it was high
can
scoring and I
we
mean,
can we talk about something though?
yeah.
What do you think about the halftime performance?
So here's the thing, because I was about to bring that up to you. First of all, I love Rihanna. I fucking love Rihanna. Huge fan. While I was watching it, I didn't even realize how everyone was kind of saying it looked like she was pregnant. I didn't think it was good because she wasn't moving around. But then as soon as afterwards they said she was pregnant, I was like, oh well, because she sounded amazing for sure. I just didn't
She
think
did.
I
She
didn't
did.
think the optics of the performance was good, but she sounded great.
So this is for me. I thought the visuals were like them being on those fucking platforms and like when they did like Shine Bright like a Diamond, I think it was, where like they
Hmm.
panned down and you could see like I thought the visuals were fucking amazing.
Mm.
The choreography I thought was really good. And I didn't know that she was pregnant either. I thought it was honestly just like baby weight
Hmm.
initially from
Hmm.
the first child. But when they said it, I was like, well, shit, that was a fucking amazing performance. You up on these fucking platforms, 100 feet in the fucking air, even if it was slight move, I mean, you were literally dancing it. So I felt like it was a good performance, honestly. Like you said, her vocals were on point,
They were great. Vocals
and
were
then you just,
fantastic.
and then the fact that like you just missed like you forget about some of the songs that she has, and just like she has some really really good songs. So I thought she did well.
Yeah, I mean, especially for being pregnant, man. Again, like while I was watching it, I was like, that was pretty. Like I wasn't, I thought the platform stuff was cool, but I just didn't like. She wasn't really moving around. But as soon as, like I said afterwards, they said that she was pregnant. I was like, ah, that makes sense. I did say during it though, I was like, damn, if she's not lip singing, like she sounds fucking fantastic right now. Like that, like it
Yeah,
was.
she sounded amazing. She
Yeah,
really did.
she sounded great.
So
So another
kudos to
baby
her.
on the way. Is that also with
Her,
ASAP? Do they know?
yeah, her and ASAP rocking it out.
Yeah, man. God, I love Rihanna, man. She's a fucking rock star. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me they don't get paid for that. Do you know that?
Yeah, I know that I mean, they don't need to. You
No,
know
for
what happens?
sure. But I
Do you
mean,
know what happens though? That's the reason why they don't.
hmm,
So right after the Super Bowl, any of those artists that perform, they're like streaming or touring or anything like that, it goes bananas. So if you were to go and check like this past week at
it's a really
Apple
good
Music,
point.
her stream like I think all her songs were like top like they were all like top 20.
Dude, that's such a good point. I didn't even think about that.
So they don't need to pay them any because everything that's related to her. So I guarantee not only were her songs top 20, you remember she took a little part during the Super Bowl and did her Fenty makeup and put her makeup on. So I'm sure her Fenty sales went through the fucking roof.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No,
Like
dude, you're so right. I just checked Spotify. She's like sixth in the world now. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm sure she wasn't that before.
she ain't put out an album in how
Yeah,
long?
exactly. Is it true that was the first time she's performed in 7 years or something like that?
Yeah, she hasn't performed in forever, bro.
That's wild, man. She's awesome.
She's been
I love
busy with
Riri.
her, her Fenty shit and being a mom now. So
Well, good for
it's
her.
crazy, but I mean, good. I mean, like I said, like you said, she for her to be gone that long and be her first time performing live and she sounded amazing.
She
Like she
did,
really
man.
did, really, really good. Her vocals were really on point.
They were, man. They were. It was a good. That was a great way to cap the season, man. It was a great Super Bowl. I mean, I
It
get that people were upset about the call. I mean, I
was a
thought it
great
was kind of
call.
weak, but I also the dude himself, I guess afterwards said that it was a hold. Like
He did.
so, I mean, um, yeah, but it was great. I mean, I don't get how that's a hold, but like the Saints play wasn't pass interference. That's a little much for me. But other than
Listen,
that,
bro. I think everybody knows that Saints play was a blown fucking call and like the
yeah.
probably the most egregious blown call ever in the history of NFL playoffs. Like that was there was one. Where was I think I said I think I was in Cancun.
Hmm.
And there was a dude at the bar where we were watching the game, and he lost his shit. Like he went off. He was
I know, but I did too. I was.
it was ridiculous. I've
Oh.
never seen anything get blown like that bad.
Yeah, yeah. But regardless, so regardless of that call, I think it was a great season, great Super Bowl. It was a great like storyline all year. So that was a good way to wrap it down. It'll be cool. I guess during the summer, me and you will start picking NFL back up again once the players start signing and whatnot. But now we can
Yeah,
finish up basketball, move on to fucking, UFC and boxing's got some big stuff coming up. So that'd be
yeah.
cool. Did
The
you watch any of the All-Star
NBA.
shit?
I did watch some of the All Star stuff last night,
Mac
man.
McClung, man. Holy
That
shit.
McClung. The thing is that like I I wasn't surprised. Because like I've been following like dude since like he was in high school
Yeah,
and
me too.
he had bunnies, bro. Like McClung can ball, he really can. I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, I think he may have won like G League MVP or something. Like the dude can ball his ass
Hmm.
off. He's just a short guard. He's like
Hmm.
6'2", and he's not a point guard, but he's got bunnies, and he showed that shit last night. And I don't think anybody was anticipating that.
No, I mean he came out
And
there.
then
It's tough, bro, because
real
sometimes they kind of like they repeat. Like sometimes there's dunk contests where I'm like, this is like dunks I've seen before. He was innovative. Like that shit was.
Yeah, him and Troy Murphy.
Hmm. You put on a show.
Like he like for him he was pretty long, but like he put on a pretty good show, man. So it was good. I thought I would see a little bit more out of Kenya Martin Jr.
Hmm.
because he definitely's got some bunnies. And Jericho Sims, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Like that belonged in last year because I mean he don't get me wrong, the dude like he was looking down into the rim in some of these but the creativity just wasn't there.
Hmm. I'm with you. I'm with
So
you.
I mean, because what did McClung that last time he pulled off a 540?
Yeah, that was insane. Fucking cock
Insane,
that boy.
insane. And then a double pump off the like, dude. Yeah, he was going crazy. He
He
was going
was,
crazy.
man.
Shout out to him. Hopefully he gets a contract and can stay on the rest of the season, and maybe does vaults his career into another trajectory so that way he can get out of G League.
It'll be cool. Well, we
And
haven't
then
talked about KD yet, bro. So I mean, fuck. What's your thoughts?
wasn't expecting it.
No, me neither. Not at all.
Not that fast either. Not that fast. That was fast. Like we literally got what was it? Out, we recorded and then got off, and then
It was that night, I
that night
think. Yeah,
it was that night. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on?
I know, man.
It was it was insane. I mean, good for him.
Yeah,
He gets
I don't like it for Brooklyn. I mean, I know the Suns wouldn't have done it, but again, I cannot get over that it's Kevin Durant. Like it's like you're giving me Devin Booker if you want Kevin Durant. Like I'm sorry, like no questions asked. Like that's just insane to
the
me.
fact that they got to keep Booker and
I,
Aiton.
that's so crazy, man. They hosed him. It's fucking wild.
He, and like you said, he still got 3 years on his contract.
Yep, yep.
And they
But
picked. I like some of the pieces that they actually picked up too, because they got Warren in the trade, and then they just picked up Terrence Ross, and then you still think they got a Kogi. They got Torrey Craig. Like they got some pretty good wing defenders. They solid on the with big men. They just need Aiton to. If Aiton can play to his ability, especially on the defensive end. You think about you put Aiton, KD, you whoever you want, Torrey Craig or Josh Okogie with Booker and CP,
I know, man. It's
and then
insane.
you can bring Terrence Ross, T.J. Warren, Landry Shamet, Okogie off the bench,
I mean, do you
bruh.
think they're like favorites now? You know what I mean? Like
They
where
have they are, well, but Vegas has them as favorites right now.
are
But
they in the
I
standings?
mean, I have said this the whole year, and I'm going to continue to say this: the Clippers are coming.
Yeah, they look good.
They have been looking good, and they made some. I like the trades that they made.
They look good. I'm with you.
I really like the trades that they made with Bones Highland and Eric Gordon. I just the only thing is that I'm nervous. I don't like PG handling the ball like that much.
Why not? He's got
I'd
good
rather
handles.
that's not about the handle thing. I'd rather him focus on getting his own rather than trying to get anybody else involved. Like I'd
Hmm.
rather have a point guard that can do that. Um, and I just yeah, I want PG to be in attack mode. And then if something comes out of him doing that, he passes the ball, yeah, but I don't want him running the show.
PG's a weird one, man. Like, tell me what you think about this, being that you play basketball at a higher level. Like, he reminds me, he's not to LeBron's level, where like LeBron like looks to pass first. I feel like before, which is crazy to say because he's all time leading scorer and all that shit. But you know, like LeBron looks to get the whole team involved and shit like that. There's like two categories of players. Like, there's like the Kobe's, the Michaels, the Devin Booker. Trying to think of other ones. Allen Iverson's. Paul George has the potential to be like that, but his mindset is not that. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want to like shoot the ball every time he touches it. Like, but he's not also necessarily like to LeBron's end where he's looking to pass every time. But like, it's just crazy to me. There's these dudes you look at, and I swear it's just, and it's not a negative. I'm not saying this like he doesn't have it in him, but it's just a mentality thing. Like, I don't think Paul George is like catching the ball every time he touches it. Like, all right, I'm about to get a bucket right here. You know?
Yeah, I you're right. He is not. Um he- the thing with PG is that like he's almost like this enigma where like he can easily be, I think, like a top five player
Mm-hmm.
just based off his skill set, his size.
Yep.
Um, but I think PG is in his head off. It seems like a lot,
Yeah, I agree.
and but yeah, I mean, I think you're right. He isn't in that same mindset of like a Kobe or a Devin Booker, where it's like, okay, give me the ball, and I'm gonna just let me work. Um, which I don't think, like you said, I don't think is a bad thing on him at all because I think it's a part of his game where you have to respect the fact that he can make those passes. But I also think it works well with that combination of him and Kawhi because I think Kawhi does kind of have that mentality in him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think it works well. I don't like him being a point guard though. I would prefer him working, as a two where his first mentality is to do what he does best and then kind of get into the flow of the game of passing the ball. That's when I think he's at his best. Not constantly thinking about like maintaining the flow of the game and running play. Like I don't like that for PG.
I don't either. I understand that. That's a good point. You're right though. Just his ability, man, just based on his size and his handle for that size is so crazy,
Bro,
man.
he's
Like
6'8", 6'9", and just
he's like a 6'9" Kyrie, man. Like he's got a bag for sure.
bro, EG, yeah, he
There was
nice.
that period there, man. Like first of all, the first period in Indiana when like they were challenging the Heat when LeBron was
Yeah,
there.
when he was in OKC with Russ,
Hey, I was about to say, and then dude, he was like for me, he was like top five in MVP for me that year. I mean, he
he
was
was top three. He finished top three in
he
MVP.
could have been defensive player of the year that year. I mean, he was
He was that was his peak, bro. He PG's so nice, man.
he
He
is he's
just there's
smooth with
times
it.
where you're like, you be wanting like, where? Come on, like it's there. Let's
Exactly.
get it
That's
going.
what I mean. And that was always my thing with LeBron too. Is like I know you could put your head down and score 40 tonight, but it's like he just, it's more of like a mindset thing. They just don't think like that.
Yeah, and then hold on, and I had this conversation with a friend of mine that actually lives in Fort Worth. This Kyrie and Luca thing, they haven't won a game since he's got there.
It's
And I
wild.
think it was one game where it was a last minute, like whoever gets this ball, they got to make the play, and they were fumbling. Another one could get a shot off. It didn't look good. So I think they're
Mm-mm.
still trying to figure one out. But like that duo, I don't. I said this. I don't think it's going to work out.
Yeah, you did.
Neither one of them are really all that solid on defense.
That's an understatement, bro.
And
They're not good on defense.
that's already on a team that like was struggling on defense, and then you lost some of your defensive stoppers in Finney Smith and Dinwiddie. Like you lost some of that. I don't know what these like. I don't know if Dallas. Maybe it may not work out this year. This year, maybe they'll try to figure out some things going into next year. But I don't. I just. I don't know.
I don't either, dude. It's really tough. I mean, we said this like you did say that last week, and like I bring back that point too, where it's like I think both of them think I just think, like you said, it's Luka's team, but I just feel like Kyrie probably goes in there thinking like I'm the best player here, which Kyrie is an amazing fucking player, talent wise. So I don't blame him for feeling that way. I just feel like they're dynamic. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work, man. Like they
Yeah.
both probably feel like they're better than the other, and both probably feel like I'm the one that should be taking the last second shot. Like it's
Well, it's like it's not even that because like in that there was I forget who they were playing. I think it may have been the Spurs. They just neither one of them were doing anything. It's like, dude, like they were passing the ball back. Like, bro, y'all gotta figure something out. Like, if you gonna go, just go. And I think they was trying to like not play their game, and rather than trying to like
make it work.
fall back to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's not why we brought you here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that always tends to happen when you got these players where it's like you kind of want to lead to that other person or whatever. But it's like, that's why I think the thing that I love about KD, no matter what situation he is in, I think KD may be probably the easiest superstar to ever play with on any team.
I agree.
Right? It's not
Plug
like
and play.
you don't need 20, 30 shots, bro. Can you get KD about a good solid 14 to 15 shots? You're getting like 30 points out.
Yep. Plug and play, man. He's like that. Clay's like that.
So it's like that for
That's why
sure.
it's so scary that they were both on a team together with another top five player. You know what I mean? Like you've got two dudes that don't even need the ball to get 30 points. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's some
Yeah.
dudes.
So the thing is that I'm worried. What I'm worried about is that like I don't want Book to become a shell of himself with KD being there though, because that's not going to help them out.
No, he needs to have the mindset of I'm still the one that's,
Exactly. KD will fit in where KD will. Chris Paul will make sure that KD fits in how he needs to. And I think the other thing is that like that if they really utilize Aiton, how they really like that team could be so net, especially just from the live threat that Aiton is.
oh yeah.
And if you think about that you think about that top pick and roll. You got KD on one side, Book on one side, and let's say you throw in TJ Warren, like the live threat
Good
off of
night.
that.
Yeah, bro.
That
For
is
sure.
scary, bro. You got Chris Paul coming off a pick and roll, and it's just pick your poison.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's gonna be such a crazy way to see how it winds down. What's the deal with Russ? Or is the Clippers still trying to get Russ?
I don't. I've heard about the Clippers. I've heard about um. Oh, who else did I hear about? I think, the Heat. Um, And there was somebody else that I heard that was potentially interested in Russ. I'm drawing a blank right now,
Hmm.
but I heard those two teams were interested in Russ.
Hell yeah, man. That's gonna be. It's gonna be. I'm so
I don't
excited for
like
the
the Clippers
playoffs,
though.
man. I don't
Oh yeah,
listen. Not trying to be a dick. I don't like Russ anywhere at this point, man. Like I don't like it's this. He's so tough, man. He is so tough.
I will say this: if he does, I don't. I think he would fit much better in the Clippers than probably anywhere else, honestly, because he's gonna bring a level of tenacity and defense there, and then his ability to drive the ball, especially when you got people like Kawhi and PG there, just really opens up things. So I think it could potentially. I get nervous because he gets so lackadaisical with the ball. Um, so
He does. It's gonna be cool though, man. We got a lot of storylines going into the playoffs. Who do you think? Okay, I guess we'll quickly and then we'll jump out of the NBA. But like each side, who's at the top right now? I mean, Denver's at the top, but are they the team to beat? Like, do you think in the West, like they're the one that?
I think we gotta give it at least 10 games. We got to give at least 10 games to kind of see how these other how these other
It's a
teams
good
are going to
point.
start to look. But I mean, Denver's been fucking balling. Jokic has just been on a fucking tear. So we got to see what that's going to look like. But we got to give these other teams because like now that Phoenix is like kind of back and healthy with CP and Book, I think they won like 8 out of the last 10. Um, and then like I said, the Clippers have been steadily coming. So and what is it? How many games is left in the season? About 20.
Yeah, 20.
So I'll say give it 10, and I think we'll start to see what's going to happen. But as far as the Lakers, I don't know if they're going to make a plan.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because the West is so close right now. Because I was looking at it earlier, like there are only 3 or 4 games out of making like the middle of the pack. So they got to really turn it on, but it's not impossible. Like that West is open for anyone right now.
I mean, it is. They're only 2 games back out of making it into the play-in. And I mean, I like some of the moves that they've made,
Yeah, I think D'Lo's a better fit for them than Russ.
but AD looked like he checked out, bro.
That dude is a weird man. He's just a
Does he
weird
not
man.
look like he checked out?
Yeah, man. It's just, and that's the thing that's so bizarre to me is he goes on these streaks like earlier this year where he looks like Shaq reincarnated, and then it's like, bro, what the fuck? I don't
He
understand him, man. I don't get him.
like literally. Well, let's see. The game against OKC, he had 13-8. Game against the Golden State, he had 13-16. Like he's been rebounding better, but like he just hasn't.
Yeah, they need him to. He needs to be at least a 20 point per game score, like at least, preferably like 25. Like you said
Yeah, he definitely
last
needs to
week,
get to
he
25.
should be the focal point of scoring for them. LeBron should not be like he should be scoring 30, and LeBron should be low 20s. And
What I have come to this is my hypothesis. Okay, I think LeBron was on that tear because he wanted to break the record that specific game at home. Um, so I think LeBron's going to fall back as far as like his scoring. And
I
matter of
agree.
fact, he had. So I think LeBron will start to fall back on the scoring and everything. Because like I said, there were some plays in some of them games where like LeBron would have normally made that play,
Hmm.
but because that was the goal, he wasn't passing the ball.
Right. I'm with you.
So
Yeah. I I don't see them really making any type of run. I think they can definitely make it in the play in, but I don't think they're really a contender unless we see some drastic type of shift. Out east, Boston looks pretty good. Um,
Milwaukee I
Milwaukee.
mean, now we have to see what happens with Giannis and his wrist. Um, Philly is kind of there. Surprisingly, the Knicks have been
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson
They're
has
just
been
that team, though. I
balling
don't
this
think.
year.
Do you think in the playoffs they're going to do anything? Like, just that's the Knicks, man. I can't.
Mean, they're gonna have to go up again. It looks like right now they may have to face the Sixers. As far as the playoffs, if they were to go in, and I don't think that they would win it. I think it'd be a hell of a fucking series. I don't think they would make it out the first round though. If they can somehow make it to that 5 seed and play against like Cleveland or Brooklyn or anything like that, if they could potentially make it there, I think they could make it out of that. Otherwise, I don't see them making any noise. I'm just it looks like that move for Brunson is working out though.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Well, that'll be exciting. I mean, obviously we'll keep talking about it, but it'll be cool once playoffs are solidified and we can do like another bracket and kind of see or predict who we think's going to the top because it's like you said, there's a lot of shakeup right now, so we got to give it some time to kind of really see how everything like the dust settles and whatnot, you know. So
Yeah, for sure.
hey, as far we didn't talk about this, did we? As far as UFC, did you see Connor's back and they're doing the Ultimate Fighter, him and Michael Chandler?
I, no, I did not. I didn't see that.
You know what the Ultimate Fighter is?
Yep.
And then like the captains fight at the end. So the captains this year are Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor. So I've never watched Ultimate Fighter, but I am tuning in for this one, man. This is gonna be awesome. That's gonna be fucking cool.
I mean, Connor just is must see TV. So that'll be that'll be good to see.
Yeah, that'll be really cool, man. I really like Michael Chandler too. He's on like a 4-fight losing streak, I want to say, or a 3-fight losing streak. So both of them have a lot to like. They both probably really want this win. Oh, that's gonna be cool. I think Michael Chandler wins though, just based on Connor's inactivity. But I don't know. That's gonna be a dog fight. We all know what Michael Chandler does, man. He just bull rushes and he's like, either I'm gonna knock you out or you're gonna stop me. It's one or the other. So
Yeah, he is balls to the wall for sure.
yeah, yeah.
For sure. And then hold on, I thought I saw something where oh yeah, I did see it. Yep. So Edwards and Usman are fighting on March 18th.
Yeah. A lot of big cards coming up. John Jones and Cyril Gane are the beginning of March. And then Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards again. I don't know where that's at, but
And then it looks like Adesanya and Pereira are fighting again too.
yeah. So many good cards coming up, man. That'll be I think for both those, Kamaru and Izzy, I think they'll both come back and win. That's just my opinion. But I mean, obviously we'll see.
Oh, that Usman Edwards fight is going to be at the O2 Arena in England.
Ooh, so it's
That's
gonna
gonna
be
be
all
nuts.
Edwards. Yeah, they're gonna
That's
love
gonna be
Edwards.
nuts. Yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
be crazy.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
I just
crazy.
think I think Usman stops him in 2 rounds. That's my prediction.
I mean, if he, bro, he can't just go on. He can't be playing around. He got to handle
No,
business.
yeah, exactly.
He,
Yep,
he found out what happened last time. He got to playing around. Like just handle business, and he should win easily.
you should. What do you think about Izzy and Pereira though? That's interesting because I think Izzy's a better fighter, but you can't just go in and say handle business because Pereira can fucking knock you out with one punch. So
He
it's
can't. I mean, he found out. I mean, what the shit? The same fucking thing happened, bro. You lost in the last round.
yeah,
So I mean, if he just is on his shit, as Izzy is just on his shit, like we expect him to be, he should win this.
I agree. I think so. I don't
Now
get
it's
why
gonna go
Pereira's
five.
doing it. Do you think Pereira's just doing it because like the money is going to be so big for another fight?
I mean, yeah, for sure the money's gonna be big, but then also I think he's just doing it like, look, I'm better than this dude. I don't beat him how many times
I
now?
know, I know. I just think it's dangerous. So I think I said this when we recorded the week after it happened, but I'm like, from my mindset, he is clearly way too big for that division. Do you see that motherfucker when he stands next to everyone else? Like, dude, like I would just be like, I've beat this dude 3 times between different, sports. I'll just vacate this title and go up to light heavyweight. Like, but I do understand the
Like Izzy had that, he had that one. He legit had it won.
yep,
So
you did.
we will see. But I mean, you can't pass up the money, bro.
No, you're definitely right. And you're right, Pereira probably does have that mindset as well. Just beat him again. But I mean, from an outsider looking in, Izzy, he was winning that whole fight, man. I mean, like that was crazy. That was crazy. We've
Yep.
had some
Oh, and then
crazy shit.
and then I saw that you shared about they got the
Oh yeah, we're
they got
official.
the Tank and Garcia fight
Yeah,
official.
man. Yes, sir. April 15th, day after my birthday. So that'd be dope.
Vegas is what you're saying.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I'm definitely watching it, but we'll see what the ticket prices are. As soon as those come out, I'll hit you up. We'll see what the deal is
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
let me
man.
know.
That'll be a
That's
fun.
crazy.
That's be it.
That'd be
It's
crazy.
just so rare that we
Is it
get
at
that.
Mandalay Bay?
Hmm?
Is that Mandalay Bay or at the
They were
MGM?
saying possibly the Raiders Stadium, 70,000.
That was
I know. I was like, damn. I was thinking probably AT&T. That's usually where the fights are. But man, the Raider Stadium, Allegiant or whatever it's called, that would be pretty crazy. That'd be nuts. I don't know if they've had a fight there yet because that stadium just
I think they
opened, right?
have. I think they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have or I don't think so.